Namaste. Hello. Today's topic is very sweet and very close to my heart, and the rule of 3L. As a student, if you want to have a rule of 3L in your life, it's basically the number one is listen. You have to apply the first L, which is listen. Listen to your teacher or guru very carefully. Listen, not hear. There's a difference between hear and listen, and you can Google it. Listen is when you actually understand things, what is said to you, and hear is you just hear it, but you don't actually pay attention to that thing. So listen to your teacher very carefully. What he or she is trying to explain means you need to have an enormous amount of focus. Second thing is, if you listen, then you will automatically learn when you practice. If you don't listen carefully, you cannot learn because you don't know what to learn, because you have not paid attention to the number one, which is listen. So listen first very carefully, and then you will know what to learn. And when you learn it, and when you put it into your practice, there is no chance that you are not going to love it. You will automatically fall into the category of loving it, what you are practicing, what you are learning, and learning what you are listening. So this is a beautiful combination, and which goes into a sequence is listen, learn, and then love. It can also be very beautifully implemented in a whole different dimension of relations around you, whether you are in a school, in a college, whether you are related with your husband, wife, your family, your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, anybody. Sometimes when we are in a discussion with someone, we don't like that person because we don't like what the person is saying to us, or in a discussion what his thoughts are. We often spend time in thinking about what we are going to say next. In that moment, if you take a little effort to listen what the person is saying, listen very carefully, and then analyze it very quickly, then you will learn that why the person is saying. Maybe the person has a different experience in his life, maybe his family background is different, maybe he is coming all sort of have a whole new world behind him, and that what made him what he is today, that what made him as a personality, and that what made him say something which you don't like it. So when you listen to that person carefully, then you will understand. Don't hear and don't just think about the next argument you are going to do. Then you are able to understand, you're able to learn about that person. And after that, it depends upon you if you are going to love that person or not love that person. Just go away from that, or just leave that person in his thoughts, or just be neutral to that person. Ultimately, we don't end up hating someone. Ultimately, the motive is don't end up creating a full sort of negative emotions for that person. That what helped me a lot personally, and I cannot say how much it has helped me when I was in a different kind of relations in my family, in as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, as a neighbor, as a colleague, as anybody. So we play so many roles in our life, and in all these roles, this rule of 3L, if you apply it, it will be so beautiful, and you will see that how much peace you have in your heart, and the world can be beautiful. And with that, I want to give a brief history of how this rule of 3L came into existence in my life. I remember it was an afternoon in summers in 2021. Every year when we celebrate Ghungroo ceremony or Ghungroo puja, as a Kathak dancer, as a Kathak coach, teacher to my lovely beloved students, I take a very important topic to discuss so that I can pass on to my students and they can carry it forward throughout their life. And I have always been trying to connect an art form to wisdom of life. So one fine day in the afternoon, I was wondering, I just realized something which hit my mind, and that was the rule of 3L. And I was completely awestruck. I was completely blessed, and I didn't know that it has so deep impact in so many things, so many relations we can make just with the rule of 3L. And the world can be so beautiful and so peaceful if everybody follows the rule of 3L, which is listen, learn, and love, all like. Particularly don't hate. And it's not just the art, it's also the heart that matters.